Whoa. Okay. Let's jump into it, man. Summoner spells. Super basic. Fucking flash TP every game. Like, basically without exception. I wouldn't ever not go TP. I can't think of a moment where I would not go TP. TP flash. It's how you do. Items. Starting items. Always Doran's Pop Pop. Versus your standard playable matchups. Your early back should be looking a bit like this. Lost Chapter. Ideally on your first back, you want to get tier your first or second back. No later, otherwise you're going to be quite behind with your stacks on tier. To get that stacked up. Obviously, if you're going tier, you want to go mana. You want to go fucking Archangel Staff. Boots. Nice little item on an early back. Fairly standard. You do all that normally. Versus like a high poke mage, like Zerath or Zoe or Vex, might be nice to go refillable with a null magic mantle, helping you, take a bit less damage from the poke, have a bit more sustain for the poke. Really standard. Versus really big counters, I like to go Rod of Ages instead of Archangel Staff. Obviously, on the game that we played together, you went Rod of Ages and Archangel Staff, which is also quite a good thing to do. But you want to go Rod of Ages first. You want to go tier into Rod of Ages into Archangel Staff. And that's going to make you very beefy, much more tanky. You get a bigger shield from this because this gives a lot of mana. And this shield scales in mana, obviously. That's going to be really useful. It's just also going to make you do a lot less damage until third item because you need Rabadons to do damage. But if you know the game is going to be dragged out and you're confident just farming, not really doing too much, because you can still execute with your R, but one-shotting people isn't going to happen. Just staying consistent, getting gold, farming a lot, you can go Rod of Ages into Archangel Staff. It has the highest win rate in low elo, the build going Rod, Archangels, Rabadons. Every veigar player in high elo does that. But we make more mistakes. So Rabadon second is really good. But if you're really unplayable and you're confident you're just going to be able to farm and not really fight that much, Rod into Archangels. I wouldn't even think about going it normally. Super, rare thing to do. Versus fat counters. Merc Treads is really good. For the tenacity. Or if you look at the game and you have to go null magic, and they don't have too much to see on their team, but they have a little bit, and they don't have enough magic damage to get Banshees or Verdant, you can just go Merc Treads. That's kind of fine. If you really need null magic mantle, you can just go Merc Treads. If they have I wouldn't really go Plated Steel Caps unless they have a really AD team. Like their whole team is AD. Tanks don't count, obviously. So if they've got an AP tank, it doesn't matter. Let's say for example, it's Tristana mid, Lucian Senna bot lane, Briar jungle. Steel Caps is crazy. That's going to be so useful because it just reduces the damage of auto attacks. You're getting to get auto attacks a lot. Steel Caps is crazy. Verdant Barrier, I might go just buy that before Rabadons if I'm playing against Zerath, because it's really difficult to play against, and it's going to help you take less damage. It's going to just completely get rid of one ability. Nice item to have if you're completely getting fucked. Only get this if you're absolutely getting fucked. Seeker's Armguard, I would go early against a Zed, because I just know I'm going to get fucked. There's no way I'm not going to get fucked. He's going to just bend you over for free. Seeker's Armguard, standard. If you're getting absolutely countered, a Zed's going to destroy you. Maybe against the Nefari. Nefari I find difficult to play against. But you might just be able to cope with a cloth armor. Standard core build obviously looks like Archangels, Sorks, Rabadons. Really nice. Another core build you can just do is Rod of Ages, Sorks, Rabadons. I am starting to love this one a lot more. This going Lost Chapter will give you such like a better early game, like such a nice, comfortable laning phase when you get Lost Chapter. So if you're doing like fine, if you're against a Pantheon, for example, a champion like that you can kind of poke out for free and they're not really be able to get on you to kill you, Arcane Jaws is really good. If they have some threat in their team and you're not really able to get these like free Qs off, I would go Rod of Ages. I love Rod of Ages. It just has better stats as like a full item. But early game, this is a better item. 100%. This is better. Early game. And then late game, better. And obviously you're a hella late game champion, but your laning phase is going to push you into getting more gold faster. That's why Lost Chapter is so good. Third item options, pretty standard. Zhonya's Storm Surge, Banshees, Shadow Flame. If you kind of feel like you need a defensive item, Banshees or Zhonya's, obviously. Zhonya's is better than Banshees. So if they have even AP and magic resist, go Zhonya's. The passive is way better. It's so useful, the Hourglass. If you feel a bit more confident and you're not really that too vulnerable, Storm Surge or Shadow Flame, really nice. I prefer Storm Surge a lot. It gives movement speed, and it's passive with 18% ability power. So, you have 1,000 AP. That's doing an extra like almost 200 damage. Really nice to have. And if you one-shot them before the damage goes off, you get gold. Nice little 30 gold. Put it in your pocket. That's like 2 ranged minions. Really nice. Unless they're building a lot of magic resist. If they're instantly building magic resist, Crit Bloom. You need to get Crit Bloom. Your fourth item options are the same as your third item options. Just like go if you don't go defensive item, go defensive item. If you have gone a defensive item, go Storm Surge or Shadow Flame. Basically. But this is kind of what your defensive item potentials are like. It's such a rare case that you will pick Deadman's over Zhonya's or Kaenic Rukn over Banshees. You really don't need like 2 defensive items, unless like you're getting bum fucked. Like in some of the games we played, I said go Zhonya's and Banshees because they just had so much like damage potential from AD and magic. I was like go both, but like going one of these, they're like really rare. Like really rare you can do it. But if you feel it in your bones that you have to get one of these items, go for it. This is a shitload of magic resist. It's good health. It gives you health regen, and it gives you a magic shield just on your HP bar. So it's really nice against like control mages that you struggle against. Rise, for example, Zerath maybe. But still, in most cases, Banshees well. Maybe against the Rise, actually, I would prefer Kaenic Rukn. Depends how you feel. Deadman's armor, health, also gives you move speed, which is really useful in veigar. Helps you trap people with your cages. That's why I love Storm Surge as well. 8% move speed. This is 5%, but obviously it adds 40% move speed. It's really nice. If they have like a crazy AD team again, that like a few ADCs, or like they've just got like magic, like for example Yasuo or Yone or anybody who heals a bit, or then Zhonya's is Thornmail. Good item to have. If they have a very AD team, by the way, it's the only time you're going like tank AD or tank armor. Is if they have a very AD team. Randuin's Omen is also a favorite of mine. I go it so rarely, obviously, but when I go Randuin's Omen, I win because the matches where this is viable, it's so useful. It will make you so unkillable if they have 4 champs that want to crit you. So it's pretty standard. You have to have these items in your build or you're trolling. Quick Bloom. If there's no use for it, if they're not building MR, then you just go at last item. If they are building a lot of MR, you can go at third or fourth. Versus Cassidin, a whole lot of Kappa juice, bro. Because you should have banned that jump. Can't lie. Yep. Hold on. Abilities. I was talking to you about this the other day. QWQ, so that you can, 2 points in your Q at level 3, so you can farm better, have a better poke threat. Unless you're going to get ganked, then put a point in E at level 3. Ganked by your jungler or enemy jungler, because your jungler, you can trap them. Your jungler's going to be doing all the damage, not you. Your veigar level 3 can't do shit. And if you're getting ganked by the enemy jungler, you can Event Horizon their jungler so you can run away safely. Your room pages versus confident matchups, Pantheon being a prime example again. This is what you should look like. First strike, magical footwear you want to go because if you go cashback, you are slowing when you will get Rabadons, basically. Because you won't get, because this takes off 300 gold off your build, and cashback won't do 300 gold before Rabadons, or do 300 gold after Rabadons. So magical footwear to rush Rabadons. You want to go triple tonic whenever you have mana flow band, because then you don't need biscuits if you have mana flow band. And the level 9 upgrade to just get a free upgrade on your W, really useful. Cosmic Insight is just the only viable one here. Maybe Jack of Trades, but no, not Jack of Trades. Cosmic Insight is just way better. Then Mana Flow Band, Transcendent, Standard. You want to go Ability Haste, Adaptive into the big health one. Versus an Assassin. Let's go First Strike, Cashback. So after Rabadons, you have more of a boost to get a defensive item. Biscuit Delivery, because you have no mana in your second room page. Cosmic Insight. Oh, there it says. Yeah. Cashback to get a defensive item easier. I wrote this, by the way. I'm not reading someone else's thing, but I just forget what I've done. Bone Plating is so useful. It's going to give you, you should never walk up against a Zed, for example, without Bone Plating active. It's got a long cooldown, and you will just get fucked if you don't have it up. But it's going to reduce a lot more damage. Overgrowth is just going to help you have more HP. Really nice. I genuinely go Ability Haste and double health, but this will make farming before you have 2 points in your queue really difficult. I've missed a few farm switching between adaptive to health because your queue is weaker. Just be aware. Versus a little bit of poke, like a Zoe or a Vex maybe. Not a Vex. A Vex I like to go, unflinching because it's good for CC. But against a little bit of poke, Absorb Life is really good. Oh my days. Absorb Life is really good. It's going to give you a bit of healing when you farm. Then Legend Haste is really good because you love haste on veigar. You want your E on low cooldown as possible, your Q on low cooldown as possible. Then it's the same deal. You can go cashback or Sorks, but cashback. Oh yeah, here we go. So you can rush tier 2 boots to dodge skill shots. Because magical footwear, obviously, you're only going to get your tier 1 boots at 12 minutes unless you're getting takedowns, which you shouldn't bet on because you're playing veigar. So yeah, you want to kind of rush boots, and then Absorb Life, sustain for poke. If they have versus too much range, like a Xerath for example, when you can't proc your first strike, Arcane Comet is nice. Obviously, Arcane Comet's sexy. Or only because you can't proc first strike. You only go not first strike if you can't proc it. And obviously first strike, you have to strike first. Otherwise, it just goes on cooldown if you get hit. You get nothing. You can also just go electrocute like this, cheap shot, eyeball, and ultimate hunter. But I know you love. I know you. I know you love Arcane Comet a lot more. So, also the mana flow ban is going to be useful for sure. You can go Gathering Storm, but I feel like 48 AP at 30 minutes isn't too useful on veigar. Like it's kind of preference. I think most like a better player than me would definitely go Gathering Storm. I think I'm just gonna stick to Scorch in that situation though. Second Wind, poke resistance, overgrowth, because it's just nice. For sure, it's the only one I see, and then you can also just go another point in health. I think that's what I would do. If they have a tank on their team, cut down. You deal more champs with more max health than you. You're just gonna deal like a bit more damage, and then obviously, like, this is like against like a Dr. Mundo, and they've got like a Malphite support or some shit. Like, and this is also only when you don't have like anyone on your team who can deal with tanks. If you've got a Smolder on your team, don't worry about it. Just stick with your rune page versus matchups. But if you have no one on your team that can like really get rid of tanks, then cut down is really useful. And then obviously these two runes you can just go depending on, you know, what the other shit is. So if you need, you know, if it's a poke matchup, again, then you want to switch to cashback so you can get boots early, or you can go absorb life instead of the haste one, so you can sustain a bit more, and then you can switch these around. So it's kind of just adapting to situations and tweaking your runes a little bit. So it's pretty standard. But yeah. Your threats: Kassadin, Xerath, Zed. Those I play against a Xerath or a Zed, I'm like, shit. You know, I don't play against Kassadin because I banned that champion. It's not playable. You can't trade Qs ever, because obviously his Q gives him magic shield, so he just won't take damage from your Q. You can try and poke pre-6, and you can call for ganks. Post-6 is unplayable. You should ban. And then, you know, really hard to play against the Xerath, really hard to play against the Zed. You kind of just have to, like, stay under your tower the whole game and try and dodge skill shots. It's like, you really, like, put your back against the wall. I'd say against the Xerath, the only reason why Xerath is easier to play against Zed is because he's a control mage, and he has less mobility than Zed. So if you get ganked by your jungler, you're more likely to get a kill on Xerath. But you probably won't even get ganked. Let's be honest. You're just gonna get fucked by Xerath. Like you can't. This is not in a 1v1 situation. This is equally as a threat as Zed. 100%. A good Xerath, more a threat than Zed. When you get to like Emerald, Xerath is way scarier than Zed playing veigar. Synergies. I had to put one down because it made me. Apparently, Callista gives you above 8%. I had to look it up, but yeah, okay. Also, warding. So, if you put a ward here, right? Oh, wait. Because they're not gonna. Okay. I figured it out. Okay, let's take your blue side first. Your standard thing to do is put a control ward and then put a stealth ward, so you know when if you put a control ward here, then you can't protect it. Do you know what I mean? Your jungler walks up there, they can take the control ward. Their jungler, sorry. Control is dead. It's peak. If it's here, then you see the jungler, and then they go to your control ward, and you can protect it. You have time to like force them off your control ward, or you know, distract them, or do something. You know, get them away. Standard good blue side wards. here. Raptors, just anywhere around raptors. Good ward. There, good ward. There, good ward. And maybe not here. If they've got like an aggressive jungler, these like really defensive wards are also fine. That's a really nice ward. These are not good wards at all. If you only have a ward there, it's really bad. It does not give you enough reaction time. It gives you vision to like here. You're in the middle of the lane. They're playing like Skarner. You see them here. You're already dead. Like you don't have enough reaction time to get away. If you put your ward here, you see him over here, and it's way safer. I always put my ward like over here. If I have like a single stealth ward. Then obviously warding objectives, it's not really your job, but you can do if like there's no one there and you need to. Never face check though. If you think they're on it, don't walk up to it by yourself. I mean. Yeah, red side. These wards, these aggressive wards in their jungle, they're so fucking nice. They're so good. Blue side, obviously, you can do the same. One ward there, one ward there. These aggressive wards are really useful. And you want to also obviously have your control wards. So then they walk through. You can protect your control wards. Also, if you're against a Zed, right, and you're shoved in, you don't have control over your lane. So you shouldn't have a control ward, because he's just going to take it. You need to have a control ward when you have some control over your lane. Basically. Random wards are just crazy. Just like here. You know, if you're diving, no. You can put like a control ward over here if you're going to dive like this tower, to make sure they don't have vision of it. You don't really need to worry about warding in these dry bushes because it's their lane's responsibility, but like you can do. These wards, like, all really nice, just so you can start tracking their jungler, so you know where their jungler is. That bush here, this bush here, like these kinds of wards. As aggressive wards, you obviously want to not have a minion wave if you're standing over here. You want to have it shoved in as fast as possible, then run, put the ward here, go back to lane for the next wave. But yeah, that's all I can think of on the top of my head. Peace. 23 minutes.